Hello everyone and welcome to another race recap. So this is St. Aubrey race on Tuesday. We're racing the mini transats today. And this is a good race, I thought. I have my share of mistakes, I've got my share of great maneuvers, and it's just like another one of those really close tight races full of respectful racers and just a great experience and great practice and great learning. So I did get to do a practice run of this course before we started. My practice start was just not very good, so I kind of need to get a little bit more time, of course. But here I'm kind of like based on my practice run. Wish I had a few more just starts to practice, but since I didn't get any, I'm just kind of going by a little bit of memory, a little bit of adjustment to my practice. And I'm also going to, take a cheeky look at the camera, shifting it aside, kind of to see what they're doing because, their practice is more, better, so I'm just going to steal their time and go from there. I do know that I more or less have to go almost a 7.5 up to the start line, which is basically from over to this crossing from here. And this is where I do my cheeky left to see who's wearing the turn. And I see that blue and red dot over there start to make their turn, and that is when I make my turn as well. I practice a little bit late, but that's okay. Now, I opted to turn this way because I wasn't sure what boats were going to be behind me and I didn't want to get into the road as I made my turn. Plus, I also realized that when I make this turn and I shift to point at the speaker, I'm on a very good line to hitting my spot without having to be too close to the or too far away. It's just a matter of me maintaining a smooth and steady sail to where I need to go. Now, the turn itself was a little bit sloppy. I could have probably done it whenever I needed towards the line. But, not the worst start. Pulled ahead of me here, it's a way better start. Everybody else to my right has just about the same start as me, so it's not the worst thing in the world. We'll get by. The important thing with the start now is that I just make sure I hold my line. I'm not going to have a favored heading simply because, I'm pointing closer to the wind while everybody else is close and pointing just like 1 or 2 degrees away. I'll probably go a little bit faster. But as long as I maintain this pace, do what I need to do, don't get in anybody's wind shadow, I should be in a good positioning to make this work. And here I screw up and have a wobble, and just look at the boats to my right now, they just whiz right past me. So this is actually a point in the race where probably catch these guys. But we don't give up just yet. We just keep sailing, try to keep sailing smooth. And just try to practice all those terms and maneuvers. Ideally, you wouldn't be practicing these things in the race itself, but when you've got other things going on in your day, you can't exactly dedicate hundreds of hours. You take it as you can. I'm still within shouting distance of everybody around, so all is not lost. But check this out. I am super proud of this maneuver. I was in the back. I was able to trust that when I make my hard turn, nobody's going to be, I'm not going to be anybody's way. And I can just make a trust it. And in doing that, just look at how many positions I've gained. Like, a lot of boats are behind me now that were previously ahead. They all had horrible turns. My turn wasn't great either because I did follow the flows, but I did hit back up quicker. And, now as you can see, there's a black boat to my, just barely out of my draw distance, who's in the clear now. And to my left and ahead of me, so there's another boat, and there's 2 more boats behind me. That was a great turn, great recovery for me. Now it's just a matter to keep on sailing on. Now, that particular turn there was a good turn. It was cutting it close, but I didn't have to adjust, I didn't have to slow down, I didn't have to do anything, so it's like, alright, quickly, no problem, no harm done, no foul. And we just carry on, and we make our tack. It was pretty clean, we stayed on the floors the whole time, and we plow along. So, it is difficult to gauge who is in the lead and who's behind from here, because we're all going upwind, our mark is directly into the wind where we want to go, we can't sail into the wind. We know that any boat sails fastest and hangs to the wind. So, here, like, I would say with confidence, the black dot to my left is in the clear lead. The dots to my right, who are ahead of me, it is hit or miss whether they're ahead of me or not, because by the time we get together and make a turn, they may be ahead of me, or they may be alongside, or they may be behind me. It's too difficult to say. All you can know for sure is that with trigonometry and stuff, they have to cover the same ground going towards the north that I have already covered, so there's no guarantee that they are ahead of me. But it looks like they are. When we get to the tacking point further ahead, we will see exactly where we lie. For the moment, it is just a matter of me pondering, I should really learn how to fast forward these videos, so this is a boring segment here to just whiz by. But unfortunately today, you're just going to have to deal with my voiceover or the entire thing and just kind of see even what knows how we go. So I do a cheeky camera turn around to kind of see where everybody's at. Everybody's looking good. Like the racing has gotten so much better up here with this crew. Like everyone's getting more familiar with this boat. It is a relatively new boat, only 2 or 3 months old. And like when we were first racing many weeks ago, it's like the boats were so far spread apart. It was crazy. Like I'd actually like at least mastered the straight line aspect of this well enough that I was passing people left, right, and center. But now everybody's up their game and it's just so much closer. And this makes things even more exciting. Well, it's exciting because it's close, and exciting because we all race cleanly here. There's no dirty racers here, and even if somebody makes a foul, we've got an amazing race director who's willing to call it ahead and give people penalties, so I don't have to stop and type up the protest and such, because that does take away from me. So here's the tapping point. I make my turn. I am clearly in second place at this point. The people who tack late will have a better angle towards the mark, but they will also have more distance to cover. And now I can just hey, keep my cool, keep going, it should be good to go. And the boat ahead of me is just like clear ahead. This is like half a set of heads. Crazy how good a start they got and how quickly they managed to get away from me. You know, I keep saying the starts are crucial. It's not the worst thing in the world when it's a terrible start, but my word for a good start, everything else just gets really better. So, looking at the cluster of dots, there's like 4 boats right on my tail, all of them coming out right at me. And, you know, well, just as long as we're all doing the same thing, we're all going to be ready for this first. Trust in the process, trust in my capabilities, and just keep moving along and see how things go. Now, I'm curious to know what will happen here. So now we're approaching the mark to see the board ahead is clear. Now, I remember when I was doing the practice, I was actually behind the gather of boats that are now behind me, and I got to see that as we made this turn, we can immediately raise our code, and I completely forgot to do that here, so that was probably a mistake on my part, but it's okay. I did manage to recover and I'm great. I can put my code and I can keep going on and progress from there. So here we're coming across the turn. I do a quick look on to see, and my word, see like those are all some very fast boats behind me, and I am better than them. They're all hunting me down, and we just got to do what we got to do. So I make that little bit of a turn somewhat cleanly, like no issues, nobody's made or lost on the ground. I put up that code pretty late so that I actually lose a little bit of ground to the boat that's immediately behind me. But carrying along, like I still have a lead and still clear ahead of them, so I got right. When we get to the mark, I will have right away. They all need to stay clear for me. I can take this as suits me. Now, one thing I did not do on this mark, which is what I did on the other mark when I made it, how I kind of lined up together. So here you see me actually getting close to the mark, and I should realize by now that that is not mine to take. I need to do a little bit off of it, and then turn into the finger, and then I'm watching the StAR and turn to the back, start from the other side of the track, turn to the back, and then exit onto the other side of the track. So rather than just hugging the marker, which is what I try to do, I need to take this like a little bit wide, turn into it, and then step away. But my turn here is not smooth, and I forget the wind is coming from the east, which means when I stop was dead down, and that's where I to go, and that stop in the middle of the turn kills the speed, and like kind of lost in place there, but it's like not totally lost. I can still like kind of lift my back up and I do over here. But now I just need to sail smooth because this is very much recovery. Because those boats are inside now. They are on the windward side, which means they could give me wind shadow. But I am a little bit closer to the mark I need to go, so I've got less distance to sail. I just do a quick check on the map to kind of make sure that after this thing, how much more of a volume they're in before I can safely turn in towards that mark and take the shortest distance. So here I'm going for the shortest distance over to highest speed. And while the other persons who are more to my left, they're going for and I just take that tackle as much as I can. So you saw the little hint of a black dot over there. That's like a full center head. So that's the benefit of being clean air. You just do what you gotta do, keep it clean, and you just keep on hustling on. Meanwhile, I've got to do a little bit of defensive sailing. I've got to kind of like play the intimidation game with all these boats behind me and try and stay ahead. Just look at those dots right on my tail, like swarming me from all directions. It's insane. And, you know, this is part of the excitement of my race going, because from here it honestly does go all downhill. Yep. This is where I would definitely say I need a lot more time in this boat. I'm clearly not comfortable familiar enough with the operates, because here you see a mistake. And yeah, that mistake again is going west as opposed to going west, which in turn threw off more foils, and I gotta correct the change sails, I gotta do all this kind of stuff a little bit still. Actually, I probably could have kept the spinnaker up, the Jennifer up, but I didn't. And you just see now all the boats that were previously behind me are just smoothly and comfortably moving on by. So, not the worst. There's still a boat behind me. There's only 2 positions lost there. I can try to separate, but just look at how much distance they're just pulling away from me from, because they did not have that error. And I'm not sure what sail they're on right now. I can't really tell. But basically, they've just sailed smooth, sailed calm, found their lines, stayed on the foils, kept the momentum, and now they're just going. So now I just gotta watch out for where these marks are, where I want to go, and where the next marker is, and what line I'm gonna take. So as long as I stay within eye shot of these boats ahead, there's always the chance for me to pass them again. It won't be easy because these are some of the fastest sailors in the race. So I've just gotta keep it cool and keep it steady. So right now is also a good time to talk about, well, not right now, just the line. You kind of see the boat in front of me. She's like trying to go a little bit higher up, maybe trying to give me a little shadow in case I'm catching her, which I actually am. But it's kind of like a little bit unnecessary, simply because if she just keeps sailing on smooth, she'll make more mistakes. The more she fights smooth, the more she will drop the boat ahead of her, which is, you know, we kind of want to work together to a point, but at the same time, she doesn't want to just open the boat for me to just lose all the way. So here we go, we're approaching the mark. We see the black dots, you know, like full set and it's the limits. But that's behind me. It's caught me. I wasn't even paying attention. I'm not sure how that happened. But usually when something like that happens, it's quite a video, and it takes you by surprise, and it just took me by surprise and I watched it think. But here, you know, they fixed it out. Really bad turn. Cost me another piece of the behind, and boom, I get hit with all kinds of graphical issues of a sailor that just passed me, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm like losing sight of what my settings are. I swapped to the Jennifer because I thought that was the fastest way to go, and all this graphics issues is like I can't see properly and I'm very distracted by what is going on, and by the time all those issues settle on, I realize I have to swap my sailor back, and by then it's too late. They've all checked out, they're more than half the same head of me, and this now is probably safe to say race ruined, completely gone. This is a wash. Now it's just a matter of bringing it home. However, I can safely say that the race is not over. And there is a long way to go before the next incident, as I have made a few marks on my timeline here just to make note. Maybe this is a good time for me to experiment with speeding some things up so I can take it to the next incident. Let me give that a try. So as I figured out how to speed up time, I kind of realized while going through this little segment that I did actually manage to catch up. So maybe that little marker rounding, I maintained a good piece of momentum. And don't ask me what's happening over here, I have no clue, but whatever, settle down. We're sailing again. And kind of like just doing a quick check over there to see how far away everybody is. The sound is definitely weird in this fast forward version, but you can kind of see like somehow I am clawing back in some of the gap that was created, and just that's actually making some solid progress. So possibly like in those turns, like you see how they're so far towards the north and left, which means they're probably trying to give each other shadow and defending, and in doing so it has given me the opportunity to claw back in quite a bit of distance. But that is not a permanent advantage, because now they can cut away from the wind, or bear away from the wind, and now coming down with more speed, and now then just like going back ahead. The key difference here though is that I am still a lot closer to the end of this segment than I was at the start of the segment, which is great. It just means that those three boats that were ahead that passed me, I have now almost caught up to them, and it's just a matter of, alright, cool, let's keep sailing smooth, let's keep sailing sweet, and let's try to, recover as best as we can. So, the leader is basically a whole thing right now, by a lot, and, again, don't ask me what happened there, I have no idea. It's probably like a fast forward and glitchy type of thing, because probably the race is already pretty glitchy anyway. But that's all. We can go, this is probably just like this thing here, save 2 minutes off of this video. And here we are approaching the rounding of the next mark. And, well, back to normal time, normal speed. So, all that distance, like you see, like those boats are much closer to where we were before. We're all going up points, so we're all going fairly slow. That first boat that made the tack, we were like really late, so probably trying to get a more favorable angle. But what that means is the four of us are now all like really like tight close to I say four, because this is three of them and me just like behind. I wait till I get to my turning mark and then I turn, and you can see like I still have a little bit of gap between me and those three boats ahead. Maybe I could have done that turn a little bit sooner, but in the end, not that big a deal. They're still within my draw distance, so I have ever so much chance to get there. And I realized, no, I was supposed to foil that turn, which is not ideal, which is extremely. They took so much ground away from me, so I need to really clean up those turns. Moving on ahead a little bit, this is probably another good option for me to speed up time a little bit, because the next set of events don't happen for a couple of minutes away. You can see the boat that's far ahead of me just like dancing in and out of my draw distance, disappearing and reappearing as like kind of like inching closer and closer. But now you also see there's a couple of dots behind me as well who are, they're keeping pace with the group, which is good to see. Again, like, this is great when you can actually see all these different boats nearby racing and all trying to get ahead of each other. It's kind of cool to see how much we're all progressing. It is great to win by a lot, but sometimes that can be a little bit on the boring side. But that's besides the point. The point here is the boats that are ahead of me are genuinely faster people. They sail regularly, they train, they practice, they do all the right things, and they're super passionate about what they do as well. So one can really aspire to is like, hey, let's get on their level. And there's also the other saying. The other saying, if you want to be the best, you gotta be amongst the best. So these guys are all better than me by a lot. And they're such a font of information. I'm happy to share, happy to guide, happy to teach. And that's also one of the reasons that's inspired me to do these videos, because I can then take my experiences, my learning, and my thought process and share them along with what I'm doing. Hopefully some people watching will see, learn, understand, and try to make some improvements themselves. Hopefully other people will make some comments or ask some questions, in which I'm always happy to respond. And, let's see what we can do to get more people coming out here and having a good time. I know I'm having a great time with this, like all the learning, even the mistakes, as frustrating as they are, we're still learning, and it just means that the next time I come around, I should have learned something new, and I should be able to do something even better. So here we do another rounding of this mark, and let's see if I can keep on the foils and keep going, and the answer is no. Drop off the foil, lose full momentum. That should be another mistake that has gotten orientation next year, which it doesn't, but alas, but hey, it's okay. We move it on along, and yep, now the boats ahead of me are clear ahead. I say clear ahead as like I can't even see them, like nowhere to be found. Out of my draw distance, just plugging along. But this is also, well, it's not quite down the middle, but like we got the bigger, heavier sails up. I should probably be on a code right now, but I'm on the Jennifer. But I'm also going at 23 knots, so I'm not going to change it unless I absolutely have to. And the speed is being maintained, so you know what? I'm going to push this limit and keep going as long as it keeps me going, and we just go from there. Now, the reason why I say I should be on the code and not the Jennifer is because if you look at the true wind angle, the TWA value, it is about under 130, so we're at 115, so I'm probably pushing past the limit of what is acceptable for this sail and this wind angle. But you know what? The boat's sailing, I'm not going to change it. You can see that my speed is actually increasing as I maintain and keep my minor adjustments. I'm probably going to be told at some point all those minor adjustments are slowing me down because whenever you turn the boat, you will lose speed. But as it stands, I'm doing 24 knots right now. Well, 23, I guess. I spoke a little bit too soon. And, cool, great, let's keep at it. And here, again, another turn, and look how horrific this one is. That is just terrible. There's no sugarcoating it. So, here, not on the foil. I don't even realize it. There's absolutely no reason for me not to be in the foils right now. Just looking at my foils, both of them are in the water, and both of them should not be in the water. What happens when you're busy looking at your HUD and not at the boat? You just look at how much time has passed that I'm not on the foils, which means look at how much space I'm losing. Well, you can't see the boats ahead because they're all just checked out. But look at the boats behind me catching up so fast. Wow, this is the clear definition of a catastrophic error, right? Because note the boat sails fastest when you're on your foils, and when you're not on your foils, you have just a lot of drag over the boat of the hull, and well, it's just going slow. Just going slow. So by the time I make this mark, I miss the turn completely. I'm on a poor line, poor everything. And by the time I get over here, now I'm on the foils, but I have lost my momentum completely. And I've completely fallen off the foils. Which means the boats behind me are going to catch me. So in order for me to get on the foils at this point, I need to gain about one more knot of speed, so I have to bear away from the wind a little bit to try and get the speed. I don't want to go too much because there are boats behind me. But the boat behind me is the overtaking boat, and the boat behind me has to basically stay clear of me because they're overtaking. This is not a leeward thing, this is strictly a overtaking boat will happen. So they stay away. I still apologize a little bit simply because I may have gotten over it. And the worst part of this is, even though she's a color and she's caught up to me and what have you, just because of where we're positioned, I'm going to give her so much green shadow, it's going to make her so many more well, she's going to get finally just completely just so
sad face.
So sorry, that's just my terribleness, but totally not intentional to ruin your race or anything, but unfortunately it does happen. I did get a comment about how I could have fought this off a little bit more aggressively and what have you, but I just was not in the mood for for it, simply because I messed up. And like this is what fighting. I was even considering at this point dropping off the horse with it. But then I saw that before and then like that might make things messy if I'm not careful. In the end I chose not to drop off the foil and kept at it. If there's an option for the past PV and just not even fight, so here. Whatever, I just keep going, but this is also still not the end of my rules. Like here I am still in clean. I'm in good condition. The boat is still trying to pass me on the remote side and not quite succeeding. We're both on the port attack, so the lead boat that was coming down the starboard attack we have to right away. Here we can see that they're trying to get past on my leader side again, and just not that is horrible. So bad. I'm not changing anything. I'm not changing the steering. I'm not turning into anybody. It is just we are forced out of the wind shadow has a massive effect. I'm here to that. If we saw what her husband was saying in terms of what her speed is, she's getting probably minus 50% speed coming from the wind shadow, and that is just look at her. Now she's not even in my chat range anymore. She's just falling clear behind the clutches of the boat behind me. And like, and all that because of, well, my horrible turns. But you know what? As I said before, there's a turn coming up, and that is not the last of my mistakes. Not at all. So, here we go. I realize that I've got the room. I can make the turn. I start my turn, and here we go. Here we go. Why am I not turning? What the heck? Okay. So, here we go again. Like I promised you that entire time I was mashing the keys to turn and the boat just would not turn, and look at me now, I'm a sitting duck. Quack, quack, quack. So those two boats that were behind me have now just cleanly gone back. Well, at least one of them did. I think one of them disconnected. But no, not disconnected, still in it. They probably had a similar issue that I did. But by yet another boat. That's just, again, disheartening. But we're not going to quit just yet. We're just going to keep sailing. Just plow on. So that boat that you see that's off to my right, well, you don't see the boat, but you see the dot that's off to my right. They have definitely taken a pass. They're on a good line to get to the next marker without issue. It's going to be a tough ask for me to make the pass and secure the spot. But we're going to try. We're always going to try. And we're going to go along. The other boat that was behind me earlier is now also behind me, but the problem is shadow zone. And yep, look at all those clusters of dots that are right in front of me. It's like, oh, this might be a messy crossing. You see now I'm in wind shadow, which is, yep, so pass cleanly made. And what the heck happened here? Oh, I got rushed. I lost control. I completely missed that when I was doing my preview, but I have the right of way. All those other plates have to give way because we were on the starboard tack. But still, that's kind of disappointing. No, I've already checked it. Well, I didn't check out this race, but I lost all hope already. So my objective here at this point is finish. Just finish strong and just make it clean. So let's see if I can make a clean turn over. Still at least 2 more turns. This one. Let's see. This turn was not the worst, but it wasn't the greatest either. And it looks like the board could have been but no, yeah, so it's not the worst turn in the world, but you kind of see that I don't know what happened to those boats out here, but they're all kind of still within one foot, well, not 1 foot, but they're all like within 1 foot. Which means like if I had kept my things all tidy instead of foil and heavy, I would have probably been up there with them the entire time. But I wasn't, and that's, you know, whatever. We'll just have to like do better for the next one. So lots of learnings had in this race. Not terrible. I think this is a good enough time for me to just fast forward to the end because nothing else is going to So So as promised, we have figured out how to speed up time. Nothing much eventful happening here at this point. We're going over to the 1,000 mark. Well, the last turn that we need to make, which would then take us all the way towards the finish line. But overall, this feels like a good race for me. There was a lot of learning to happen. I had a questionable start. I made up so much spaces. I fell under pressure, and I lost out because probably intimidated myself. And it was a good opportunity to finish this race strong. Made some mistakes, lots of learning things. I found a few places where I'm definitely weak at, and just some things for me to keep trying to improve going forward. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. No fouls committed in this. Nobody had any penalty to take. No dirty racing. So it was actually very chill and relaxed for once. You'll probably see in the next video if I choose to publish that one. Just how the experience can be differently when you're amongst different other people. That's where you see the person behind you just disconnected, which is always unfortunate. But this race is practically over. The line is secured in terms of there is probably no way for me to get back into this space, and it's starting to look like the computer and the software does not like fast forward engagement. But anyway, the finish line is up ahead. We're both cars up and playing on as much speed as possible. Ish. Yeah, nothing more to be said here for that. Keep going strong. I see the radio people are saying celebrating Javi, which means that they were not that far ahead of me on the finish. So more learning has been had. Experience was great. Just a matter of coming back and practicing some more and trying to get better. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope it was informative and educational.